Hello, Canastota. I'm Sean Becerra, Superintendent of Canastota Central Schools, and this is the weekly video update for Friday, June 18th. Well, once again, there was a lot of breaking news coming out regarding end-of-year activities at school. As we had been anticipating for quite some time, we anticipated that there may be some updates coming from the governor's office and the State Department of Health regarding end-of-year activities. And what the big question was, would there be a substantial loosening of those restrictions? As you know, for many weeks and actually for months, we've been planning for what our end-of-year activities would look like based on the most recent guidance that we had available to us. This past week, there was substantial loosening of those guidelines, and as a result, we were pleased to announce yesterday that our graduation, which we're really excited to have at the International Boxing Hall of Fame venue right here in Canastota. Our graduates are now able to have 4 invited guests. That information has gone out to families, and we look forward to having now a really fun, exciting event with a very special place right at the Canastota Boxing Hall of Fame. And now we will be able to have 4 guests per graduate. The end of year announcement also has allowed us to take another look at several of our other end of year events. We also announced that Monday's senior award ceremony, we would now be able to allow for guests to attend in person. So we're excited for that announcement. And there may be a number of other announcements in the coming days. So make sure you pay attention to those school messenger updates that come out, because where possible, we're trying to make it possible for our families to celebrate these special end of year events with us. So again, more to come, but for now, we are very pleased to announce that that our capacity is now up to 4 invited guests for graduation, and that our senior award ceremony will now, we have the ability to accommodate in-person guests of our award recipients. And again, more to come in some other areas. It's important to note that one of the major remaining restrictions in place is that unvaccinated individuals are still expected to be wearing masks. Again, that comes directly from the state guidance. Well, much of the guidance that's been in place for a long time has been lessened. That is the one remaining stipulation that is included in the state ed guidance. So please be aware of that. And again, we will be reminding people of that as we move forward through the next week and beyond. Last week, I had mentioned that we're also excited for some of the big changes that are happening within our capital project. I alluded to the fact that we'd be having some guests joining us. Actually, our first guest will be joining us in next week's update. That person is our construction manager, Mr. Peter Marcinison from Construction Associates. And we're going to be talking to him and allowing him to give us an overview of exactly where we are with this really exciting project. So far, so good. We're making tremendous progress, and we want to share that good news and those updates with you as we move further into the project. There's been some speculation out there and a lot of rumors going around that there'll be some changes or classes or people that will be in different places next year because of the capital project. I can tell you that where there will be any changes, we will notify people as information becomes clear. And I can tell you in several cases, you will be notified directly from your building principal, and our principals will be updating you on anything that you need to be aware of, so that you'll know well in advance if there are any changes in terms of events or activities happening in the summer, or certainly you'll be informed well in advance of any modifications or changes to anything impacting the school going into the fall. So that in mind, just we ask everybody to remain patient, because whenever you have a project of this scale happening, it's exciting because it's much needed work that's getting done. It's going to give us a great facility that our whole community can be proud of and can use extensively. But we are going to have to go through some inconveniences to get there, but it'll be worth it. But on that note, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I look forward to seeing many of you now that we have more in-person events available to us, and certainly we have a number of big events culminating with graduation next week. So look forward to seeing you there. Everybody have a great weekend, and go Raiders.
Hello, everybody. I just want to give you an update on the federal stimulus funds. We recently sent out a survey, so I wanted to share the feedback that we got from the community and the staff. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick and just give a quick overview. So the federal stimulus grants go backdated from March 13th to 2020. That's when COVID-19 started, to September 30th, 2024. So this is the federal stimulus grant timeline. You see we have two different grants. One of them is for $1.1 million. The other is for $3.1 million. The first one is the one that President Trump signed before he left office. The second one is what Joe Biden signed just a few months ago. So this isn't general fund money. I know I've talked about this a lot of times. This is earmarked for certain programming. And, you know, we can go back and recoup some of our expenses that we received during the COVID times. We sent out a community survey on Wednesday, June 9th, and we had one question on there. You know, using the information on the slides that we sent out with the survey, what suggestions do you have to help Canastota develop a plan to address the needs with the two types of fundings that we're getting? The survey was completed and submitted back to the school with suggestions from the staff and the community. So I'm just going to do some bullet points on the survey suggestion results. Believe it or not, the staff and community survey results were very, very similar. Very high on supporting for social and emotional learning. And before and after school programs, this is related to learning loss, you know, having tutors available to help catch kids up back to speed with the education piece. Purchasing educational technology, hiring additional staff under the grant to decrease these learning gaps. Review airflow in the building. I just want everyone to know that this is also being done on our current capital project that's going on right now. And then a few of them want to supporting early childhood education by increasing preschool to full day sessions. I'll explain that in the next slide. We have that a separate grant for that. So this is the plan that we have going into the state. 20% of the grant is allocated to address learning loss. So this would be the before and after school programs, the tutoring, etc. We do have expenses related to social, emotional health and learning. We have some job postings out there now. You know, one would be for a guidance counselor, social worker, and some other areas of need that we're going to need the next couple of years. Personnel for instruction and non-instruction you'll be seeing postings coming up for a lot of those different types of positions in the near future. Chromebooks, classroom displays, which are like your old smart boards, Promethean boards, which they currently are using. Hotspots if we need it, and any other educational technology that we need. We're also going to be still cleaning as much as we can, so we'll need to still purchase PPE. The tutoring I talked about above, and additional instruction outside of the normal day. We have a universal pre-K grant. It got increased by $218,000 for the sole purpose of full day pre-kindergarten. So you'll see some of the flyers that are out there now, some communication on registering for it. So we plan on having 3 full day classes and then a couple half days, which will be for our 3-year-olds. We are going to recoup all of the COVID-19 expenses since the pandemic hit on March 13th. And then there's any other activities that are necessary to maintain the operation of the school district, we will definitely purchase for that. So I'm going to just stop presenting really quick. If anyone has any questions, you can always contact us at the district office or just send us an email, and you'll be posted on everything that we do. Things will be updated on the website, and you'll see things flying around with, you know, some email blasts out and videos from the superintendent. So thank you very much, and have a great weekend.